Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. I know I just gave you a little live session. I was chatting with a friend of mine, a long-time friend of mine, and he had some strong opinions, and I tried to catch some of them on the live. Just for Trinis to hear, I keep sharing other people's opinions because Trinis need to hear other Trinis talking. Trinis need to hear other Trinis fed up. Trinis need to hear other Trinis, red, white, black, green, and every color in between. Can't take another day of PNM and UNC. Trinis need to hear that. We need to understand that this country can't go forward as long as we continue to pretend that what's taking place is real government. Defending mediocrity. That's the name of this video tonight. A guy, friend of mine, commented on a thread earlier today, and that thread was about water, and I had written, and I wonder if I could find everything for you, and I had written about the water situation in Trinidad and Tobago because people have been messaging me constantly about water, about the situation with water. And I have said enough times that the closest way to devolve the people is to rob them of the basic amenities. And I think that that's what they're doing. So the post was, and I'm going to find it and say to you exactly what the post was. The post was, you live on an island that gets 20 times the rainfall it needs, yet you cannot get water. What do you blame for it if not the government? Somebody posted on the thread, and I want to find his exact comment. And his comment was, and now I am not seeing, so a few more comments. Because you're getting very prolific with your commenting, and I appreciate it. I appreciate very much. Hey, y'all share the video now. Just because it's started don't mean to hold back, you know. Share the video. A lot of people rely on you to share the video. The reason I ask you to share the video is not for the likes or the shares. It's build itself up after. But a lot of people don't. Sorry about that. I was waiting out the interruption. And I don't know what does that, when the video is on the rerun, I don't know if you see that gap and that space. I apologize. I'm not responsible for none of this. We have one of the best packages you could get from Digicel. We tried it with Flow for a whole year and a half. So clearly they're blocking the transmission. They're blocking people being able to share the video. They're so disgusting with their fear of reality that they're trying everything that they could think of to get people not to know what's going on. Anyway, so a friend of mine commented on the thread. This is what he said. And it was such a spot-on comment. I made it a post of its own. And he said, Dubai has water 365 days a year, and they're in the desert. So I said, PNM and UNC failures. Explain that. A guy came on the thread and said, only a dunce will try to compare Dubai to us. No. His position, and I kid you not, when people tell you about the PNM education, hit them with something. Don't just take it. The closest thing you could pick up, a fridge, a stove, a 323, a 626, hit them with it. Pick up something big. Don't just hit them a small slap. Hit them big. When they tell you proudly about this PNM education, because this PNM education has reduced many PNM sycophants and supporters to literal drones. This scientist, yes, I'm going to try tonight to be extremely parliamentary. If you see me strain, if you see me getting vexed, just give me a heads up. Say, Phil, bring it back. this is what this scientist added to the conversation. Did you know that our water processing system is one of, if not the best in the Western Hemisphere? I'm not joking, it's on my wall. The guy's name is Brent Gerard Hussein. It's spelled Housian, Housian. Brent Gerard, what I want to assume is Hussein, but it's spelled Housian. Anyway, Brent, clearly a rocket scientist, Brent says, did you know that our water processing system is one of, if not the best in the Western Hemisphere? Now, my first answer was the word bullshit. And I wrote, water distribution in this country is worse than third world. Stop drinking party Kool-Aid and come on my wall for traction. The people will tear you a new one and I won't be able to save you. Defending the foolishness of water distribution in TNT. Take off your party colors and stand for country, damn it. Now, you have to understand this. Queen's Park Savannah, underneath the Queen's Park Savannah is an aquifer, millions of years old. Like the one in Chagaramas that is feeding the 1% amusement park in Chagaramas. Like the one in Mount Hope that is feeding Dominic Hadid and Blue Waters in what used to be Caroni. There are aquifers in Trinidad, and those aquifers alone could almost supply all the water we need. Now, the Progressive Empowerment Party's position is simple. Decentralized water collection or water sourcing, water processing, so that you do not have to rely on one source for water distribution. I mean, this is baby steps rocket science. This is the rocket science that Brent Housian believes, because you could have the best water processing in the world. And you know what? I'm not in a position to say, I have never heard anybody in this country at any time ever say, this water tastes good. Because Dominic Hadid and Blue Waters making billions selling water. Oasis selling water, that is Coca-Cola. No, Coca-Cola is Dasani. They have Oasis, they have Water One, they have Crystal, they have plenty brands of water. They even have imported water and water cells. So if we had the best water processing in the Western Hemisphere, who would buy this? Who would buy this? Who would have reason to buy this? Who has ever opened the tap, filled a glass, drank it, and said, yummy? Nobody. But to his credit, he has a PNN education, and he's relying on there to be no critical thinking to what he says. But the Progressive Empowerment Party is populated with only critical thinkers. So they bounced and they asked him, how do you explain the taste of the water? How do you explain the color of the water? And he had an answer for everything. We pollute the waterways. But I asked him, I said, you talking water processing? So that means regardless of the source water, if our water processing, because I know in Maryland there is an actual raw sewage processing plant. I know because I've been there. That is so good at what they do that you can see on this end it pipes in feces and piss and used tampons and everything. And it goes through a filtration system. And on the other end, there is a tap. And the chief executive officer proudly goes to the tap and turns it on and drinks the water that was minutes ago raw sewage, urine, and everything else that people throw into a toilet. Now, I want to believe that is water processing. I don't know what we do in Trinidad and Tobago, but for Mr. Hausian, Gerard Hausian, Hussein, whatever his name is, to say that we have the best water processing in the Western Hemisphere, which means it's better than that in Maryland, and then complain that the source water is polluted, having a problem with your science, because wherever the pollution is, it ain't raw sewage, it ain't feces, it ain't diarrhea. And that's what comes into this sewage treatment plant, and pure crystal water comes out on the other end. So if we have, and the man said, if one of, comma, you see, the PNM education, the proper with the punctuation, you know. They have people like Agostini and Raymond and them who's be, and Franca Phillip, and the next one named Green, who's be all over Facebook telling people when they make an error. You know, so the PNM education is serious about this punctuation. And he wrote, stop doing research with Wikipedia, Philip. Did you know that our water processing system is one of, comma, if not, comma, the best in the Western Hemisphere? If it is the best in the Western Hemisphere, and Maryland could take urine and feces and give you crystal water, why would he have a problem with pollutants in the source water? I don't understand that. Blue Waters, Water One, Dasani, they all do something called reverse osmosis, which means that you leave the base water, evaporate, and cool it back down. The only thing that evaporates is the water, and everything else remains. And the water comes back down a tubular condensation pipe and is collected. And that is now 100% fresh water, albeit without any minerals or anything at all, because it left everything behind. And that's one of the problems with bottled water, if it's just reverse osmosis and ultraviolet scrubbed. And I didn't tell Mr. Hussein how much I know about water. I left him, and I wanted to see what the members would do with him. Because they have scrubbers and porcelain filters and ultraviolet treatment to get the water to taste and feel a certain way. But if this gentleman, and you know what? None of that mattered. Because the one concern I had was this. The statement was, Dubai has water 365 days a year and they're in the desert. Open and close. What this person, and I'll tell you the person who made that comment, because he came and found the comment and put Ocean in the place. And the person who actually made the comment, and I want to find him too, because everybody, I mean, if you come on this thread and you see the conversation, the people really try with him, but the man defended his mediocrity and escalated his commitment to foolishness. And he's telling critical thinkers that they're engaging in illiteracy and using every type of ad hominem and false flag, distraction, deflection, misdirection to escape responsibility for his trying to attack me. You see, it wasn't really the water, it was Philip Edward Alexander. And they have some of them out there with a nervous twitch, like a tick. And they see my post and they have to respond. You know, it's like tomorrow you would hear that I'm going to make this as a joke. Open parenthesis, joke, close parenthesis. Please do not say that Philip said that he could walk on water. But if tomorrow you found out that Philip could walk on water, those PNM UNC sycophants and Judy Raymond would write, what happened, Philip don't know how to swim? That's the truth. We could cure cancer, and those sycophants will argue for their right to cancer. PNM cancer and Joe cancer is proper cancer. We have the best cancer. Gary Blake say I like a magnet. That's true, you know. Somebody said, if assholes could fly, my Facebook would be an airport. They lie. Because we get all. And Zach Knight came and said it clear. We talking water distribution, he talking water processing. Now the people in Cascade, when you have no water for about 3 days, and you're accustomed to having no water for 3 days, you use half your tank. Because you hold back the other half in case water gone for a week. When water gone for a week, and you're coming down to the bottom end dregs of the tank, you start filling bucket. You need to know how to do that. When you're filling bucket, you turn off the pump. And you're using the bucket water for the next week for everything to try and keep the house moving forward, because water is essential. But depending on how many people living in the house, the toilet starting to get a little physical. And you're not flushing, so the substances collecting in the toilet, and you're telling yourself, I dumped my last bucket of water and we need to bathe, brush teeth and get to work. I can't use it to flush the toilet. So they leave it. That's the second week. The third week, you have no bucket. You have no water in the tank. You're running out of patience. You can't even use the toilet anymore because there's no liquid in the toilet from the actual water. It's just raw sewage in there now. And you don't know what's going on. Every dish that you own is dirty. Every dish that you own is dirty. And like the average human being, you have your clothes on a 2-week rotation. You have enough drawers and enough panties and bras and enough pants and socks and shirts for a week. Because when that go in the wash in the next week, it coming out, and you have a 1 week in and a 1 week out. You have a 2-week rotation. By the third week, everything stink. So you start wearing clothes that you ain't wear for a long time. And you're using plenty deodorant. You're putting on Alcalado. Family stop taking your call because you know you're calling to say, hey, we coming over, you know. They say, yeah, come. And you show up there with the whole family with the towel and the soap and you come to bed. So they stop taking your call by the third week because you ain't catching them again. They have only so many times you can catch people surprising them with a shower. And by the third week, civilization in your home has ground to a halt. In the first week, you're making little jokes. Stuart Young, what happened, boy? You forget we. Second week, Stuart Young, things getting serious, you know. We need some water in Cascade. By the third week, people posting, if I see Stuart Young have a bossy face, that son of a bitch, I vote for he come up here and stunt. And what is good? Because the people have a right to water. I'll tell you why they have a right. You may think the P&M education may rock you with this. I'll tell you why they have a right. Because it is their money that you are spending on WASA. And it is their money you are spending on government. It is their money. And because you are spending their money, they have a right to what? It's like you go in KFC and you order the dinner special. You ask for a breast, a side breast, and a wing, a biscuit, a fries, and an extra coleslaw. And you move aside and you stand up. And they point out everybody else. People come after you, get a box of food, and they go. And you still stand up there. And you asking, what is going on? You have no food to get. Oh, you jump over that counter. Police are to come and take you out of KFC. But we have a disconnect between the treasury and our wallet. And we don't understand that the treasury is our wallet too. That the money in my bank account, the money in my wallet, and my share of the treasury, all that is my money. But we don't understand that because of the P&M education. The P&M education. And Keith Rowley, because he was, look how parliamentary I'm being, because all I know the kind of things are holding back. Keith Rowley went and told stupid people to wean themselves off the government. I tell you, if I was there, I'd have bust a slapping in bald head ass. How you could tell people to wean yourself off government when government work is to serve the people? What kind of mad-ass, jackass, Mason Hall, Tobagonian monkey they put in that suit to come and fool black people? What? Sorry, I apologize. Trying to stay parliamentary. But the government's job is water. That's the government work. That's the job. That's the purpose. That's the reason. That's the function. The government, the cabinet, and the opposition, all 41 of them in the parliament, supposed to be, Mr. Speaker, Cascade have no water. 3 weeks now. That's what the parliament's supposed to do. That is the purpose of the parliament. Cascade St. Anne's, part of Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West, has a representative in the purpose, in the person of the Minister of Propaganda, the Minister of Ride or Die, the Minister of everything now, Stuart Young. He is the Member of Parliament for Cascade. And when Cascade have no water, forget every other job he has gotten because he's an MP. Focus on his primary responsibility. Because if you understand, and if the people of Cascade and St. Anne's understood, they would empty their toilets into buckets and take it down to his office and drop it on the ground for him. They would take all their dirty clothes and pile it up in front of the MP office and say, "You son of a bitch, wash that, fold it, and drop it back. Look my address, because I'm waiting 3 weeks now for water. I voted for you. I sent your stunting ass into the parliament to represent me. I am paying you a salary. I authorize that they pay you on my behalf so that you could take care of my needs. You are not doing it. You're missing in action. You're stunting in the parliament. This is the shit that was in my toilet. These are the clothes that need washing. Fix up." Trinidadians don't understand that. You see, the jackass prime minister that you have, that 6'6" shit snake, Keith Rowley, was able to tell black people that the government's job is to look nice, interfere with girls and park traffic, show up to events and drink. But I have some news for you, Keith Rowley. The function, purpose, and reason for government is the well-being of the citizens. That means if they have mosquitoes, get busy. If they have traffic, get busy. If they have a pothole in the road, get busy. If water gone for 24 hours, get busy. You see, no Trinidadians supposed to be taking up land space with water tank, but we too damn stupid. So we make Ross and them and Lianos and them millionaires making water tank and putting water tank in the yard, taking the responsibility of the government. But people in this country were supposed to riot. We were supposed to go downtown. We were supposed to go and stand up outside the police administration office so they don't have to go far to look for we. 1.4 million are we and say, "Come police, come and march with we. Because if we have no water, you have no water too. Come and march with we. We're going down by the parliament and fire all 41. But Trinis never understood that, especially if all that has to happen in the parliament is that Daryl Smith stands up and talk about somebody on the other side is a fairy. And we get caught up. And they go on Hamer for her to giggle and bubble and bogle. And Fazir to pontificate and posture and pose. But nobody discussing the people and the needs of the people. Nobody. Nowhere. Basnio Pandey, full of shit, waste of time, left office worse than when he went in because they stole billions of the people's money. So Bastio Pandey and his progeny have nothing to offer you. The last time you gave any of them a chance, they stole milk and sugar out of coffee. So you can't trust Bastio Pandey further than you could pick him up and toss him. He funny, yes. I like the little shit talk. We have a fella in the PAP named Andrew John. He's funny too. But I wouldn't elect him to public office. And that's the truth. I want him around. We can lie, we can talk shit. But they have horses for courses. Basdeo Pandey cannot be trusted. Cannot be trusted. Basdeo Pandey, somebody just said, but Basdeo Pandey better than Kamala. That's like telling me cancer better than a heart attack. Same bad diagnosis, partner. They have no lesser evil. All of them evil. And come back to this. Kamala is the next one. Kamala outside there stunting, pretending that she has something to offer you, that the 5 years and the 300 billion she spent while there wasn't enough to fix. So what could she do now? What could she do now? It is like when a woman break up with a man and all of a sudden he buying flowers and calling to take out to dinner and sending chocolates and singing telegrams and little WhatsApp. How you going, babe? Just wanted to touch base and say hi. This is the same man that ignored her for months. Now for certain she should never get back together with that man. Because that man always knew how to treat her, but didn't until it was too late. And now that he lost her, want to show her that he worth it. But you're not, because you're just a stunting deceiver. And when you had the chance, you didn't use it to everybody's benefit. You abused and misused it. That is the UNC. Under no circumstances should you ever consider anything coming out of Rienzi complex. Nothing. There is nothing there. There is nothing in what was the ULF. There is nothing in what was Club 88. And there is nothing in the UNC but a bunch of stunting jackasses whose only claim to fame is that they're Indian. So they want Indian people to vote for them. They want to tie thing on each other's hand and fool you and tell you, look, we tie up one another, come and vote for we. But all that is bullshit and stunting. Because I am a Christian and the Archbishop of Port of Spain couldn't tell me who to vote for. So leave my religion out of my politics. I want representation. That is all I care about. I don't care if you're ugly and if you're smelling like an old socks. That's not my concern. When I turn on the tap, I must be as gleeful as Fitzgerald Hines was when he was explaining to giggly Hema Ramkisoon that when he was in London, every time he turned on the tap, there was water. We need that. That is all I care about. I don't care if you look like Brigo. I don't care if you... Listen, I care about two things. You run the country properly and you don't thief with money. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. We've never, ever had a government that we could look back on with pride. Patrick Mervyn Augustus Manning was a smooth talking, shiny suit wearing shit snake. Patrick Manning developed the art of fooling black people and gave Basdeo Pandey the perfect counterfoil on which to become the Indian version of Patrick Manning. And then we call them the gatekeepers. And then that becomes part of the great lie that life is only the PNM and the UNC. And we fooled ourselves into that bullshit. And every time we got a chance at something that looked like change, all we got was exchange. Because Winston Dukaran and the band of malcontents that formed the Congress of the People, because I'm telling you that now, because the Congress of the People had a chance. And I want to tell you this, you know, oh gosh, don't tell me when Pandey oil was $10 a barrel now. At that time, a solo sweet drink was 25 cents and you could get 4 coconut biscuit free. Stop getting me bullshit about Pandey now. Pandey's a shit tongue, a shit snake. Don't tell me about $10 a barrel. Tell me about the $1 billion stolen for Piarco Airport. Tell me about that. Tell me about Lindsay Gillett and them trying to go with the whole bandwidth around the country. Tell me about that. Tell me about Dupree and the £1 million in the daughter and the wife account. Tell me about what was going on with the Pitch Lake and National Gas Company and the Caroni rum stocks. Don't come and tell me about what Pandey do with $10 a barrel. Pandey build police stations and leave the police service in a mess. Pandey build schools and devolve the school system. They say no child left behind, but in some systems, the children would have been better off because all they get out of that was abuse. All they get out of that was abuse. Jason Thompson asking me what I think about the NAR. The NAR was probably the only saving grace this country ever had. And this is why the 1% oligarchs sent the Jamaat al-Muslimin to burn town down. Because Trinidad needed an interruption from Eric Williams and the madness and the theft that was Eric Williams and his band of thieves. I didn't want to go down this road. I don't want to go down this road tonight. I want to talk about representation. I want to talk about what the people are entitled to from government. Because that's all I care about. And I want to say it to you. People think that they could threaten me and I'll go away. But if you learn me at all, that's just get me more committed. I tell people today, somebody tell me, when they go low, we go high. I say, bullshit. I will follow you down into hell. I will beat you. I will never stop. You could win the battle, but I will never end until I win the war. I committed, you know. I like a pit bull. When I bite down on something, I don't let go till it bleeds, you know. I'm not going to stop until this country has totally politically annihilated the PNM and the UNC, you know. I can't wait for Balize House to become a car parks place and for Rienzi Complex to start selling Chinese food. Honestly. Because they have no other purpose for Rienzi Complex. There's no longer a sugar union and there's no longer a UNC. So Rienzi Complex is now a space. Go and sell Chinese food there. Nothing has ever come out of Balize House to the benefit of Trinidadians and Tobagoans. The Queen was doing a better job. When the Queen left Trinidad and Tobago, we had the largest oil refinery in the world. It was the most productive. When the Queen left Trinidad and Tobago, we had the highest standard of education in the Western Hemisphere. When the Queen left Trinidad and Tobago, the trains ran on time. Nothing the PNM has ever done for anybody other than their friends who were fortunate enough to be part of the gang. Nothing for anybody else but them. They have people living some fabulous lives because they were party to PNM conspiracy and criminality. But I tell you this, I will move heaven and earth to find ways to go after them. I don't want to hear about no statute of limitation. I want the people money back. I want every cent back. I will name you, I will shame you. You see Phillip Alexander with parliamentary privilege? Mr. Speaker, sit down. I paid for this microphone. Sit down. We have the people's business to do. Sit down. Mr. Speaker, you sit down. We have the people's business to do. You see this house? This House of Representatives, this belongs to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Speaker, bullshit days done. Mr. Speaker, from today going forward, all that gets done in this house is the people of Trinidad and Tobago gets served by their government. That's what I want. That's what I truly, truly want. I've been alive long enough to see my people made fools of. Even Brent Gerard Houstian and his foolishness. I have seen people take positions and then come back and tell me, boy, Phil. You see those two words, boy, Phil? Boy, Phil, I hear them back talking, I take the chain up. It's only when I find out for myself what they was trying to do and I'm sorry. Boy, Phil, I hear you say it and I didn't believe you. When I check and I found this true. Boy, Phil, you really mean to tell me if you didn't start talking about pitch lake, nobody would have been talking about pitch lake, they would have been tiffing me by billion. Boy, Phil, I didn't know that $60 a barrel meant that we wasn't getting $60 a barrel, that we was getting pieces of the money on the money. Boy, Phil, if you where you was all these years, boy. You see them two words, boy, Phil, when I hear it, I say it all the time, come in a message. I wish they would start writing it on my wall. Write it on my wall. Let me tell all you something, eh? They have one champion in this country, Phillip Edward Alexander. Follow what that man telling you. Open your eyes, open your mind, and stand up. Because when 1.4 million of us stand up, the game done. All the bullshit done. And you see, we have an opportunity in Belmont. Jason Thompson, relax your typing fingers for a minute. Stop stating the obvious. Listen, you might learn something. We could talk after. Chill yourself a little bit, coming across a little bit like a troll. The well-being of the citizens is the function and purpose of government. There is no other reason for the parliament other than your need for water. There is no other reason for the parliament other than your need for security. There is no other reason for the parliament other than your need for jobs. When police have to go and try to arrest rioting people in HDC communities, all of that is a collective failure of everything masquerading as government and leadership in this country. The social fabric has collapsed to the point where these people are devolving. They've become survivors. They're not thriving anymore. They're surviving. They're making statements like, live fast, die young, leave a pretty corpse. Nobody wants to die young. Nobody cares about their corpse. Everybody wants a chance at a real life. The government's purpose is to take care of every citizen of this country, from the smallest and the least and the most dispossessed come up. Government must first turn to those most exposed. When we talk about Morva, Beetham, Lavantel and Ceylons, those people, as much as you want to blame them for their choices, and you know what? Carry on. Carry on. Keep blaming. But that's pissing into the wind. It's helping nobody and we're getting nowhere fast. We could, as a nation, stand together and see to it that all of our people are treated fairly and justly with equity and equality, that everybody has hope and opportunity. The government's job is to make sure that there are enough jobs for everybody, and that when people have a job, they could afford a home and to feed their family. We have people living on minimum wage, working 3 jobs a day and can't make ends meet. And there are people suffering under the weight of a PNN education, saying, don't make children until you can afford it. Like this is an upsize. Like somehow only rich people supposed to be making babies. That is the madness of a PNM education. Instead of the people turning to the government and saying, hey, your job is to steer the economy so that capitalism could take root and thrive, so that jobs and success could be a reality for all. I was disappointed in Brent, Gerard, Housey and Hussein, only because Brent didn't understand that you could have the purest water in the world. If I give you that point, that our processing is perfect, that at some spot in Trinidad and Tobago, we've managed to create the purest water in the Western Hemisphere. Even if that is true, if you can't distribute it to people's homes, of what purpose are you? Of what purpose are you? If the processing is perfect, but the distribution non-existent, it is like having a finely tuned race car capable of going 0 to 100 in 4 seconds, but it's on blocks with no wheels and the engine revving. Plenty noise, going nowhere. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, need to be absolutely certain as to the function, purpose, and reason for government. When that starts, when you get to a place when that starts, the Progressive Empowerment Party presents 2 candidates. two of the best candidates in local government election right now. Christophe Samlal and Felicia Holder are real candidates. These ain't grab two people and pelt them at it. We are, and Keith, Christopher Rowley, Mugabe's Abga. I want you to hear this, and all of us watch this. We have 3 candidates on standby for Lahoketa Talparo. I know this stunt. I see this stunt before. I know you're testing the water to see if the PNM could win these 2 elections. So you call a quick by-election in Maxi Coffee seat. I want to let you know we're ready for that too. But Trinidad, I want you to know this. You have an opportunity right now to make government work. Right now, Belmont and Barataria, those 2 districts have the opportunity, simple, double-handedly. The 2 of you have the power right now to make government and opposition work in this country. Vote in those 2 orange candidates on a landslide. Send a message that we have choice and we're willing to exercise it. All of a sudden, you ever notice, and I keep using the analogy of a man taking a woman for granted. You ever notice when a man takes his woman for granted and find out that another man treating her well when he not around, speaking nice words to her, complimenting her, breaking off half of what he eaten to give to her, thinking about her, sending her little messages saying, hey, hope you're feeling good. It's nice seeing you today. He taking her for granted, treating her bad, and the next man giving her sweet words. When he find that out, all of a sudden, it's competition. She ain't play. Because the outside man and her existing man fighting to see who could treat her better. Let Belmont be that. Belmont, you want the PNM to come in and fix your pavements and give you water and provide security and jobs for the youths. Belmont, you want the PNM to come into your community and offer you assistance to renovate your homes and to give you proper representation. When you call and you say, it look like the canal rising, they tell you we done on the way. If you want that, horn them. Horn the PNM and the UNC. Horn them properly. Put 2 orange candidates, one in Belmont and one in Barataria. All of a sudden, they scrub Barataria roads till they shine. Till they shine. People knocking on your door, good day. How are you? I noticed that the front of your wall has not been painted for some time. Is it that you're having difficulty affording the paint? Because we have a new program called It's Beautify Barataria Time, and we'll come and paint your wall for you for free. Just pick your color. You want that kind of representation from the PNM and the UNC? Horn them. Give them an orange horn. Trust me. That's all it takes. Lyndon Mack, you gotta shout at me. Sandals coming in August. When you ready, brother, you know where Stanmore Avenue is, you know. We rent a plane and send Peppers to Tobago and you could make a meeting. It's time for you to come to PEP headquarters and have a conversation. We're ready to stand with Tobago, but we ain't one of them conquerors. We ain't coming to invade Tobago. If Tobago wants the Progressive Empowerment Party's assistance, we are standing here ready to serve, my friend. We are servants to all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Back on the horn talk. Horn them. Horn them. Give the PNM reason to worry. Horn them. Horn them in Belmont. Horn them in Barataria. Horn both of them in Lahoketa Talparo. But you could imagine the House of Representatives with a Progressive Empowerment Party representative. One orange beacon amidst all of that decay. You could imagine a Progressive Empowerment Party lone voice standing up like a shining light to say, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to contribute in this hallowed house. And I would like to say from the very start how ashamed I am of what is passing for representation in what's supposed to be the highest court of the land. At no point in the exchange today, since I've been sitting here, has one single member of parliament stood up and spoken on behalf of the people who put them here. And it's a set of partisan rhetoric and nonsense we're hearing. And Mr. Speaker, I am here to say today, as the lone Progressive Empowerment Party member in this house, that the people who sent me here, they deserve representation. And I am going to use my entire speaking time to give the people of Trinidad and Tobago an idea of what real representation looks like. I swear to you, we have the flyer, the poster. Make Barataria great again. I see it all over Barataria. When people came out during the walkabout, I said, the UNC is saying, make Barataria great again. That is presumed to be that there was a time when Barataria was great. How long you living here? 30 years, 40 years. I guess it's small. When was Barataria ever great?
Somebody promising jobs for all. Some renting come to make other people fall. But somebody promising more police cars. Somebody going to take the country far. Somebody putting all the bandits away. We say if they do the crime, they're going to damn well pay. But somebody promising the human rights, while somebody threatening to put out their lights. The Montreal full with little Trinidad boys. A bullet start to win and put an end to the joy. Now the line calls for the mama to mourn. The Nike gone, the Goldie gone. You see they want the pocket full with blue silk. They want the statue drinking full cream milk. The little red silk is not their true friend. The blue one has two extra knots on the end. So I tag on the toys, now they take it to hell. But look where we reach. Well, I hear a madman born as he spread out on the wall. This is it, I've been hit. No time to give up, brother, no time to quit. It's the chant of a madman in the stale from a strange land. The chant of the madman is the only salvation.
The chant of the madman. Let me get back on this. This Saturday, coming here, if you're driving and you see Maritime Plaza, just drive north with Maritime Plaza on your left. About 4 streets in, you will see 6th Street. I guess it should be 6th Street in. So gas station here, Maritime Plaza here, you just drive like if you're heading to the bus route. And on your right, you will see 6th Street. Turn into 6th Street. About 2 blocks in, you'll see it from there. There's going to be an Orange Assembly. The gathering of the Orange Army. The Orange family from 4 p.m. this Saturday. We're coming to give you an opportunity to horn them. Give them a real total bay. Get them stupidity. Let the PNM and the UNC sit down and start to think how to get you back, boy. How to get you loving me again. How to get Trinidad and Tobago to choose we again. Maybe somebody among the ranks will say, listen, let's try something novel. Let's serve the people. Let's see if that makes a difference. Unfortunately, maybe it should very well be too late, because Trinidadians should, like that woman in my analogy, know that she finally has somebody that wants to treat her good. Why would you want to get back with somebody who, when they had you, didn't? Why would you want that? Why would you want that? Jason Thompson, like you get a bad horn there, brother. Everybody take a butt in their life. Don't take it personally. Anne-Marie, take your position on why they should vote PEP to a next level. I'm calling it a political horn. Horn PNM. Horn UNC. Make them sit down there and think about all the times when times was good, when they could have take your vote for granted. Horn them, make them cry.
We're ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, 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 we're ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, 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 ready. Look how the sun now raising up, and the crowd now waking up. The atmosphere have vibes, and nothing can break it up. The girl never wind up stop. We are the juice them in a light up. We're gonna party all night, all night. 24 parties we hit in a row. Tonight at the very last show. Before we head out on the road, the girl never release the road. So let me see your hands up so. Everybody know, put your hands up so. If you're ready for the road, let your friend them know. We're ready for the road. The girl them a wait all week, figured up on the road like freak. The music full of bonfires, with thousands of chicken feet. Everywhere you look is just food, and everybody in a real nice mood. We gonna party all night, all night. Everyone with painted body, clean credit and tainted money. Nobody wanna dance by themselves, everybody wanna dance on somebody. Well, let me see your hands up so. Everybody now put your hands up so. If you're ready for the road, let your friend them know. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready, yeah we're ready, we're ready, yeah we're ready, 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 yeah we're ready, we're ready, we're ready, we're ready. Look how the sun now raising up, and the crowd now waking up. The atmosphere have vibes, and nothing can break it up, and nothing can break it up, and nothing can break it up.
Tell me, Saturday, 4 o'clock, Barataria, mobilize. Don't just come by yourself. You know when we was young and we used to go party, somebody pull up with a car and 19 of we going in the same car because there's only one person have a car. Pack it up tight so. 3 people in front, 7 in the back. People cussing, oh gosh, move your hand, move your foot, may squeeze up. Pile them in. Bring everybody you know. Tell them, 4 o'clock, we in Barataria. We're going to send a message. We're going to wake up Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to horn 2 political parties. We're going to put the Progressive Empowerment Party on the map. Judy Raymond from the Newsday, the editor of the Newsday, allowed one of her journalists to say that we only had 20 people in Belmont. She see the pictures, you know. And Belmont people writing whole day on Newsday article saying, but I was there. They had a good turnout. They had a crowd. Why would you all do this? Don't you all see how this looks? Today, Wayne Sturge, a UNC senator, tell them, all they're making all yourself look nasty. All they're opening all yourself to ridicule. The Progressive Empowerment Party growing. The party has substance. It has legs, wheels on the ground. The Congress of the People have no candidates. The PACT, I don't think there's a PACT party anymore. I don't think they ever finished register. They had 3 almost meetings and all bus. MSJ, Abdullah eating our food, yeah, we to study. There's only one real political alternative in this country, and it's not for sale, it's not for hire. We're not looking to join with none of these political criminals. We're not looking for any other party to link up with. We're building a real vehicle for political change in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're doing that with you, for you, by you, and with your help. So as I say that, you need to get on board. You need to start to do your part. You need to start to put some power behind all of this. Show up in your numbers. Bring out your friends. We don't want to rent no crowd. We don't want to do like Rowley and Baratari and send Maxi to pick up 200 people and then send to hide the Maxi Parker behind the school. We want to bring out the vote. We want to bring out the people. We have an open mic in every meeting. Come and say what you think you know. Come and add your voice. This is what we are. We are the real political alternative to the miscreants that have been masquerading as political representation in this country. And you know what? If you want a better country, you know what you have. I don't understand how you all show up night after night after night for this live video. I really don't understand, and it is only because you show up I do it. But I want to ask you a favor now. Let's take this relationship to the next level. Come and meet us in Barataria. If you're not in Trinidad, call out all your Trinidad friends and family and send them on your behalf to Barataria, like Diana Saldina, who sent her brother to find me in Belmont by Pigot's Corner and say to me, remember to tell her you see me. I just did. I saw your brother, Diana. He came. And yes, Rhonda, the pie man will be there. Those of you who are at Pigot's Corner and ate pies from Mike will be in Barataria. And I tell you that pie real ash. We know how to eat. We do it well. Truth of the matter is, this Saturday, 4 p.m., Barataria. Come out in the numbers.
Register and put them on. If they don't see, put them on. Stay your finger and put them on. Show them no mercy, put them on. Put them up with total skull and out of the state. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power to be dangerous. Let's put our country together again.
What are you doing Saturday, 4 o'clock? I'm looking for you. Sterling, I'm glad to see you. They want to know if you will DJ Saturday. Will you be available at 4 o'clock, Mr. Leha? Because they want you to come out and DJ. If the answer is yes, we will appreciate it greatly. Yeah? Listen, Trinidad and Tobago. Where's the Darrell Smith report? Where is the 1% report into the Tobago Sea Bridge? Where's any of the freaking reports? So they're asking for that. You see all they really, Sterling say yes. Sterling is 4 o'clock. Link up with Tony Defoe and let him know the answer is yes. Chinbegonians, come now, man. Come now. We ain't doing this just to make noise. It's time to fix the country. It's time to tell them we're no longer interested in the politics of race and division. We want one people under one flag. But more importantly, we want justice. We want back all the money, all their teeth. We bring in a real political organization with real fire. And you know what fire is, do?
Tell me what I'm fighting for. What I'm killing for. We don't need no more now. Tell them wicked people, fire go Monday, fire go Monday. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go Monday, fire go Monday. Silly boy, you ain't got a job. Another one just gone.
Alyssa T. Tom just wrote, you know you're not going to get back anybody. Alyssa, girl, you ought to know me, girl. I prolific. I ain't stopping. I digging up money. I even want to sell that coffin. I want back all the people money, all of it. Account for it. If you have $1 more than it's supposed to be yours, it's ours. And we want it back. And I ain't care who they think there is. 1%, 5%, 10% more are coming for all we money.
Buy a beat your chest and smile. Say you's a madman. Another young boy fall. You're so careless that night. Oh, you's a bad man. Bad man is a man who lives even woman and protect the young ones by any means, lad. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. A real bad man just makes his own decisions. You don't need anyone. The only need is God. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. So, sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no strap to defend my people from wicked and evil. So, sit down, rock back. Big man, look forward. You're too damn evil. If they distress my people, then fire go Monday. Fire go Monday. Oh, Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go Monday. Fire go Monday. Silly boy, you don't got a job. Tell me what they're fighting for. They're fighting for. They're killing for. We don't need no war. There's no need. So tell me what they're fighting for. They're fighting for. They're killing for. We don't need no war. I said we don't want no war. A real bad man don't go around raping woman, influencing young ones to kill a boy now. He ain't no bad man, boy now. He ain't no bad man. A real bad man works for whatever he wants and he don't need no gun. He full of joy now. That's a bad man soldier. He ain't no bad man. So sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no strap to defend my people from the good and evil. So sit down, rock back. Big man look for a walk. You're too damn evil. If they distress my people, then fire go Monday. Fire go Monday. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go Monday.
Lyndon Mac, you're making all that noise. Call me. 682-2110. Anybody want to call in? Call in now. I'm taking some calls. I want to discuss local government. I want to discuss Belmont and Barataria. I see. Anyway, I'm not saying nothing. 682-2110. If you want to add to the conversation, call in now. Lyndon Mac. Will you hear me call out Lyndon? Sterling, call me now. Let me finalize this the DJing thing. Joshua Benjamin wrote on the United States Travel Advisory. To me, the government can't do anything to stop crime no matter what legislation they put in place. Because if someone wants to kill someone, nothing can stop with all the bullshit saying that government doing anything about crime. You see that PNM education? You see that PNM education, boy? It hurt people. It damaged the country. Hello, good evening, you're live. Hello, good evening, you live?
Yeah, hey, good evening, what's up?
All is well.
Right, so let me get straight to the matter now. I gave you a private apology. I gave Missy a private apology. So I wanted to give you this apology live because I know I would have been against one of your policies with respect to your housing plans. So I just wanted to give you that apology live since I did my own research and I believe that the policy can work with respect to that particular plan.
You're a big man.
Once it, right? So
you're a big man.
I just wanted to let you know that, yeah, man.
You're a big man.
So that's basically what man.
You're a big man, brother. You're a big man, and like you, I learning as I go. And because of what you just did there, I tell you now, I could work with you, partner. We will not agree on everything, but as long as we agree on a better country, we could work together. You have my commitment.
Wonderful, man. So I hope when I put things together for you all and I say,
come to our headquarters.
Jump on a boat and come.
Come headquarters.
Right,
we're waiting to meet with you.
I should be in Trinidad next month for a chair program that I'm trying to get off the ground.
You should come to Trinidad next week for the Pep Curricue. I sponsoring your ticket. Just come here. Alright?
Alright, no problem.
It's a brother.
Alright, good. Take it easy.
You too. Lyndon Mac, part of the PEP. Anybody else? We just lost a call. Call me back, please. Sorry about that. And anybody who would like to make a contribution to the conversation, not financial, 682-2110. Call in. Call me. Take a say. Take a speak. Ventilate your spleen. Come out. Talk it out. Let's talk. I can't believe that man say that government can't stop crime. Listen now, we in a mess. We are to undo that education. We are to undo that PNM education. Put a proper education in place. Shock doctrine have an answer, you know. It's called counter shock. They ain't ready. They think they read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and they think that that somehow prepare them. Brother, we've read the Tao Te Ching. Read that. Call us when you're at that level. Call us when you understand the ebb and the flow of energy between human beings. Call us when you ever see a political organization under a media blackout with no money stand up to two entrenched political organizations and beating them this bad? Hello, good evening. You're live?
Yes, just having this some of the solutions as possible. Like,
you need to speak up a little bit, please.
Yeah, hello, good night. You hear me better now?
Yeah?
Yeah, a little disappointed in Trinidad as a society or as a country for not having better use of information technology, computers or cameras. I see there's no reason why we couldn't have a camera on every street corner or every major street. And you have a well-trained group of people to monitor and manage these cameras or maintain these cameras.
Well, I want to tell you, I would just like to tell you that I am aware when Gary Griffith was Minister of National Security, the National Operations Center was launched. There was a pilot program, and I stood up in the National Operations Center and I watched a car accident, the two people exchanging information on somewhere in Diego Martin. I watched a man stand up on the corner of Brunton Road in St. James digging his nose, and I watched them checking suitcases in the airport. It is possible. It was designed to work that way. PNM come into office and mothball the program. They don't want it. They don't want it.
Yeah, imagine they shut down any good initiative or final with the steal from it.
We have a gentleman like Gavin Hero, who was the commander of the National Operations Center. And all this man wants to do is serve Trinidad for a better country. He is apolitical. He doesn't care about which party is in government. He is a servant of the people. And because of political spite and bad mind, you're going to leave a man with the knowledge and skill sets of Commander Gavin Hero just idle when we could be solving crime.
Right. Well, I look at the use and the efficiency of cameras in other countries. And there's no reason why Trinidad should be so backward.
Indeed.
And any crime committed, you could survey the surrounding areas, streets, etc., before time, after time, and figure out exactly what happened.
Absolutely. Are you in the IT industry?
Yes.
Do you mind sending me a private message so we could further our conversation?
No problem.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for calling.
All right.
Anybody else would like to call? 682-2110. You could call and contribute to the conversation. Have your say. We deserve a better country. They have no getting away from that. We deserve a better nation. We deserve a secure nation. We deserve a nation with secure borders. I shared a video the other night that a police officer sent me from New York City. A boat was ignoring the commands of the Coast Guard to yield. And 3 interceptor boats came at him from all sides, and 2 helicopters in the air, one giving the other one backup. And the first boat that reached him ram him, spin him round. By the time the other 2 got there, it was to link up and board him. And if they had anything like guns pointed in any direction, all man would have been there. They'll sink them right there. New York City don't play the ass with their security anymore, after 9/11. And if success leaves clues, why can't we copy what works? Why can't we have a maritime security wall similar to that? Do you know there's something called sonar buoys that you could just deploy 3 miles out at sea, floating free? They don't sleep, they don't eat. 24/7 broadcasting information back to command center. Anything that passing close to Trinidad and Tobago, you are aware 3 miles out. Do you know that if they pass between 2 sonar buoys and they don't have the authority to do that, you could respond with unmanned drones and sink them? You don't have to put your soldiers or your Coast Guard at risk. It's literally coming down now to a video game that nothing is supposed to be able to approach your shoreline without authority. That if you tell them, you see that line that you just crossed there, you're in danger. Why it is we can't have a country that functions like that? Why it is we can't vote for a government willing to secure the nation, stop the drug trade, stop the illegal guns, stop the human trafficking, stop the flow of illegal drug money that is frustrating our economy? Why we can't have a government that puts in place a proper education system for everybody, that cleans up the police service, establishes an internal affairs division that keeps the police service clean and honest? Why we can't turn our prisons into universities? Why we can't have a plastic bottle policy that cleans up the environment and puts the responsibility for cleaning up after themselves on the plastic bottle manufacturers, importers? Why can't we? Jason Thompson, I'm going to unblock you now. You see them racist talks, brother? You have to stop that quick on my wall. Quick. Take off that last comment with the Syrians and who benefited, because that is not true and it is not fair. So decide quick. Yeah? Decide quick. Remove that comment. I am not tolerating racism of any kind on my wall. There are good people and bad people of every race in this country. Decide what you're doing quickly. Trinidad and Tobago, we need to stop that foolishness. Stop letting people chain you up into believing. There have some people who sitting down in the UNC pushing stupid talk because they not getting finance from a certain sector. I am saying all the people who engaged in wrongdoing will be brought to justice under the Progressive Empowerment Party, red, white, black, green, and every shade in between, from the top down and bottom up. We're not going to do no race talk, please. I would prefer that we carry ourselves at a different level. Just now, a very good friend who she's been an asset for a long time in my political development, and she didn't like the response post that I did on Judy Raymond and Steve Castani of the Newsday, She asked me to take it down. And based on her request, I did. And all day today, all kind of business people and big Swahatis who thought there was this and that trying to get me to take it down, and I won't. But I have people of good character around me, and I'll respond to them. Yeah. So, for now, let's get together this Saturday. You could use that term, Jason Thompson, the elites, the 1%. There are a bunch of people who benefit from criminality and wrongdoing in this country. And you and I are correct. You and I agree on that. And yeah, come on board this party and we will assist each other and this country in righting those ridiculous wrongs. Anyway, Saturday, 4 o'clock, we in Barataria, 6th Street. If you come up by the gas station by Maritime Plaza, about 4 streets up, it's 6th Street. Look into it right. Just turn in. 2 blocks in, you see us right there. Big and nice and orange. Come out in your numbers. Bring all your friends. Bring all your family. Last week in Belmont was lit. Barataria will be lit plus. We're going to do this. And on the 15th, Sunday the 15th, mark your calendar now. We're having a massive line at PEP headquarters the day before elections. Mark your calendar. All are invited. Whatever we have to share, we're sharing. Those who have food to bring and drinks to bring it. Collective tables. Food till food done. Drinks till drinks done. Mark your calendar. The 15th, we line in PEP headquarters. The 15th of July. But this Saturday, we at 6th Street in Barataria. Come out in your numbers. Show them that the people of Trinidad and Tobago no longer interested in being made fools of. peptrinbago@gmail.com is our primary email address. 347-4PEP is our hotline. peptt.com is our website. Pep app, PEP, APP, that exists. You could download it from any app store and keep yourself informed. If you need assistance with anything, if you're overseas and you want to get in touch with anybody to assist, reach out to Ali G. She's the head of all overseas chapters. And if you need guidance and advice on anything else, you can feel free to message me. And for as much as possible and for as long as possible, I will put you in touch with whoever you need to be put in touch with. So, until we speak tomorrow night, Frontline. Frontline is going to be Lima McLeod Wilkinson. She's the agent for Felicia Holder, who's the candidate for Belmont. And the topic is going to be saving Belmont. And Lima McLeod Wilkinson is also from that district, and they are going to be discussing all the things that are wrong with Belmont. So, Frontline tomorrow night, saving Belmont. See you all Saturday in Barataria. I think we should be doing a live video from 104.7 because I'm on the radio every Thursday at 11 o'clock with Robert Amar. So I'll be on the radio tomorrow and I'll most probably be broadcasting live from there. I know that show has a big following now. So I'll see you all tomorrow on that show. Look out for Frontline tomorrow night. Friday night we're having our best line. We're going to be doing it on location and I don't know where yet. So until we speak tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.